Let us study the three-nation coalition that we talked about last time. So Daniel chapter 7 verses 7 and 8 says that the fourth, Daniel had a dream in which he saw the various kingdoms coming as beasts. And the fourth beast that he saw was one that went trampling and crushing the other nations. And this fourth beast had 10 horns. Horns standing for leaders or rulers. And while he was thinking about this, another horn came up, a little horn, and three of the first horns were pulled out by the roots before it. So 10 leaders were there, and 3 leaders were banished, and a little horn comes up. And this little horn possessed eyes of a man, and it had a mouth that was uttering great boasts. So when Daniel asked Gabriel for the explanation, Gabriel told him in Daniel chapter 7 and verse 24, as for the 10 horns, Gabriel told Daniel, as for the 10 horns, that is 10 rulers, out of this kingdom, out of the Roman Empire, 10 kings or 10 rulers will arise, and another king will arise after them, and he will be different from the previous ones, and he will subdue 3 kings. So the chapters in Daniel are matching. So 10 rulers will be there, and 3 of them will be displaced, and Antichrist will take that position, or the little horn will take that position. And in Revelation chapter 17, verse 12 to 13, John had the same vision. He said in verse 12 to 13 of chapter 17, the 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings. This explanation is being given to John the beloved apostle. So the 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but they receive authority as kings with the beast, that is, with the Antichrist, for 1 hour, meaning for a short time. They will get authority, and they have one purpose, and they give that power and authority to the beast, to the Antichrist. The purpose of these rulers is to give the authority into the hand of the beast, that is the Antichrist. So, who are these 10 horns or the 10 end time rulers? So today we see that the Security Council is the world's most powerful body. It has potential to form a future world government. So over 192 countries belong to the United Nations and abide by its decisions. So most of the world belongs to the United Nations, and it keeps the decisions of the United Nations. So the permanent members of the Security Council alone have the authority to act as the future world government. Only the permanent members of the Security Council have a right to own nuclear weapons and to deploy nuclear weapons. And so, at the end of World War II, the United Nations was set up and it had 5 permanent members: US, UK, France, Russia, and China. So these are the nations who have nuclear weapons and have the authority to deploy it. However, nowadays other countries are asking for an expansion of the Security Council of the United Nations, and foremost among them are Germany, Japan, India, Brazil, and a confederation of Middle Eastern states. So these are pushing forward to be members of the Security Council of the United Nations. So when the United Nations Security Council is increased to 10 nations, we know that the day of the Lord is near. So we remember Alexander the Great. He is shown as a goat with one horn in Daniel chapter 8. He died, and his kingdom was divided between 4 generals. And we were interested in Ptolemy, who controlled Egypt, and Seleucus, who was in charge of Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, and Iran. So the Antichrist comes out of this general who is Seleucus, or the Seleucid Empire. So he will come out, the Antichrist will come out of Syria, Lebanon, Iran, or Iraq. And the Antichrist will come out of the United Nations system, which represents the whole world's population. So the Antichrist will make his first appearance as a super diplomat, as a man who is highly competent. He will soon become a global celebrity. The world will praise him as the number one, as he settles crises after crises. So the Antichrist will then come to settle the crisis in the Middle East. That is what the book of Daniel is telling us.